Hey there, history buffs! Today I'm diving into one of the most pivotal conflicts of the 19th century, the Crimean War. Imagine empires clashing over territory, religion, and sheer power. What could go wrong, right? The Crimean War, fought from 1853 to 1856, was a titanic struggle involving the Ottoman Empire, Britain, France, and Russia. Now this wasn't just any war, it was a turning point that reshaped Europe's geopolitical landscape. So why did this war kick off? Picture this. The Ottoman Empire, once mighty, was now in decline. Russia, eyeing expansion, invaded Ottoman territories under the pretense of protecting Orthodox Christians. But was it really about religion, or a cunning power grab? Feeling the heat, the Ottomans called in their allies, Britain and France. Alright, let's talk about one of the war's most dramatic moments, the Battle of Balaclava. You've probably heard of the Charge of the Light Brigade. It was a perfect storm of bravery and blunder, with British forces charging into a valley of death due to miscommunication. This tragic yet heroic moment epitomized the chaos of war and the indomitable spirit of soldiers. And then came the siege of Sevastopol, where Allied forces laid a grim and determined siege on Russian defenses. After 3 brutal years, the war ended in a stalemate, culminating in the Treaty of Paris in 1856. This treaty didn't just end the fighting, it reshaped alliances and shifted the balance of power in Europe. The Ottoman Empire got a brief reprieve but continued its decline, and the war underscored the fragility of empires and the ever-changing tides of global politics. If you found this dive into the Crimean War intriguing, hit that like button and subscribe for more historical deep dives. Your support keeps these stories alive, and now, I want to hear from you. What do you think was the most significant impact of the Crimean War on modern Europe? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's get this discussion rolling. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Now that we've seen the epic clashes and pivotal moments of the Crimean War, let's rewind a bit and explore the political climate that set the stage for this monumental conflict. The early 19th century was a time of great tension in Europe. The Ottoman Empire, once a dominant force, was now struggling to maintain its territories. This decline didn't go unnoticed. Meanwhile, Russia was looking to expand its influence, particularly in the Balkans. This created a volatile situation that would eventually lead to war. Picture this. Europe was like a chessboard, with each major power making strategic moves to outmaneuver the others. The decline of the Ottoman Empire was seen as an opportunity by Russia to extend its reach, especially into the Black Sea and the Mediterranean. But Russia's ambitions weren't just about land. The Russian Empire also sought to position itself as the protector of Orthodox Christians within the Ottoman territories. This was a clever pretext for intervention, masking their true intentions of territorial expansion and increased influence. The situation became even more complicated as Britain and France, wary of Russia's growing power, decided to support the Ottoman Empire. They feared that a stronger Russia would upset the balance of power in Europe, potentially threatening their own interests. This intricate web of alliances and rivalries created a powder keg, ready to explode at any moment. And when it did, the world watched as empires collided in the Crimean War. Understanding this political backdrop helps us grasp why the Crimean War was more than just a military conflict. It was a struggle for influence, power, and control, with far-reaching consequences that reshaped the geopolitical landscape of Europe. If you found this exploration of the political climate leading up to the Crimean War fascinating, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more historical insights. And as always, I'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think was the most significant political maneuver that led to the war? Drop your comments below, and let's dive into the discussion. Thanks for watching and see you in the next deep dive. Now, let's dive into the key battles of the Crimean War. One of the most significant battles was the Battle of Alma, where the Allied forces of Britain, France, and the Ottoman Empire faced off against the Russian army. This battle was crucial as it marked the first major engagement of the war and set the tone for the conflict that followed. The Battle of Alma took place on September 20th, 1854. The Allied forces, under the command of General Lord Raglan for the British, Marshal Saint Arnaud for the French, and Omar Pasha for the Ottomans, launched a coordinated assault against the Russian defenses positioned along the Alma River. The Russians, led by Prince Menshikov, had the advantage of high ground, making the Allied assault a daunting task. Despite the challenging terrain and strong Russian fortifications, the Allied forces pressed on with determination. The French troops, known for their fierce fighting spirit, launched a daring frontal attack on the Russian positions. Meanwhile, the British forces executed a flanking maneuver, aiming to outmaneuver and encircle the Russian defenses. The battle was intense and brutal, with both sides suffering heavy casualties. However, the superior coordination and determination of the Allied forces eventually paid off. The Russians were forced to retreat, and the victory at the Battle of Alma boosted the morale of the Allies while dealing a significant blow to the Russian army. This victory was more than just a tactical success. It demonstrated the effectiveness of the Allied cooperation and set the stage for future operations in the war. The Battle of Alma was a turning point that showcased the resilience and strategic prowess of the Allied forces, paving the way for further engagements in the Crimean War. If you enjoyed this exploration of the key battles of the Crimean War, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more historical insights. And as always, I'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think was the most decisive moment in the Battle of Alma? Drop your comments below and let's dive into the discussion. Thanks for watching and see you in the next deep dive. Insights. As we continue our journey through the Crimean War, we arrive at one of its most defining moments, the Siege of Sevastopol. This siege, which lasted nearly a year from October 1854 to September 1855, stands as one of the longest and most grueling in military history. The Allied forces, consisting of British, French, and Ottoman troops, laid siege to the Russian stronghold of Sevastopol, a city of immense strategic importance. The siege was marked by relentless artillery bombardments, trench warfare, and numerous assaults, all while the soldiers endured harsh weather conditions and fierce resistance from the Russian defenders. The city of Sevastopol, perched on the Crimean Peninsula, was a vital naval base for the Russian Black Sea Fleet. Its capture was crucial for the Allies, as it would cripple Russia's naval capabilities and tilt the balance of power in the region. Despite the daunting task before them, the Allied forces demonstrated remarkable determination and resilience. For months, they dug trenches, built fortifications, and launched coordinated attacks on the city's defenses. The Russians, under the command of Generals Menshikov and Gorchakov, fought tenaciously, employing innovative defensive tactics and launching counterattacks to delay the inevitable. The turning point came in September 1855 when the Allies launched a massive assault on the Malakoff and Redan fortifications. The French forces under General McMahon succeeded in capturing the Malakoff, a key defensive position, while the British faced fierce resistance at the Redan. The fall of the Malakoff signaled the collapse of the Russian defenses, forcing them to evacuate and ultimately abandon Sevastopol. The fall of Sevastopol was a decisive moment in the Crimean War. It not only highlighted the strategic importance of the city, but also showcased the effectiveness of Allied cooperation and military strategy. The victory at Sevastopol dealt a severe blow to Russian morale and marked the beginning of the end for Russian ambitions in the region. If you found this deep dive into the siege of Sevastopol enlightening, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more historical insights. And as always, I'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think was the most significant factor that led to the fall of Sevastopol? Share your comments below and let's discuss. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more historical revelations. As we wrap up our examination of the Crimean War, it's crucial to understand how it all came to an end. The Treaty of Paris, signed on March 30, 1856, officially concluded the hostilities between the warring nations. This treaty not only ended the fighting but also had far-reaching implications for the balance of power in Europe. The Treaty of Paris was a diplomatic milestone, bringing together representatives from the major powers involved in the conflict, namely, the British Empire, France, the Ottoman Empire, Sardinia, and Russia. The negotiations were held in the French capital, a fitting location given France's prominent role in the conflict. The terms of the treaty were significant and multifaceted. Firstly, it required Russia to return all occupied territories and to demilitarize the Black Sea, effectively neutralizing its naval presence in the region. This was a major blow to Russian ambitions and significantly altered the power dynamics in Eastern Europe. Additionally, the treaty guaranteed the independence and territorial integrity of the Ottoman Empire, a crucial point for the British and French, who sought to curb Russian expansionism. The Danubian principalities, modern-day Romania, were also granted autonomy, further diminishing Russian influence. The Treaty of Paris marked the beginning of a new era in international relations. It established a framework for resolving future conflicts through diplomacy rather than warfare, setting a precedent for the balance of power politics that would dominate Europe in the latter half of the 19th century. However, while the treaty brought temporary peace, it also sowed the seeds for future conflicts. The Crimean War exposed the weaknesses of the Ottoman Empire and highlighted the growing tensions among Europe's great powers. These underlying issues would eventually lead to further upheaval and set the stage for the complex web of alliances and rivalries that culminated in World War I. In many ways, the Treaty of Paris was both an end and a beginning. It concluded a brutal and costly war, but also signaled the shifting tides of power and the dawn of a new geopolitical landscape. If you found this exploration of the Treaty of Paris insightful, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more deep dives into pivotal historical events. And as always, I'd love to hear your thoughts. How do you think the Treaty of Paris shaped the future of Europe? Drop your comments below, and let's continue the conversation. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more historical revelations. In the aftermath of the war, the Ottoman Empire continued to decline, while Russia's ambitions were temporarily checked. The Crimean War also had a profound impact on military tactics and technology, leading to significant advancements in warfare. The lessons learned from this conflict would shape the future of military strategy. One of the most notable changes was the increased use of railways and telegraphs, which revolutionized the way armies mobilized and communicated. The war also saw the introduction of more advanced weaponry, such as rifled muskets and explosive shells, which would become standard in future conflicts. Medical care during the war also underwent significant improvements, thanks in large part to the pioneering work of Florence Nightingale. Her efforts laid the foundation for modern nursing practices and highlighted the importance of sanitary conditions in military hospitals. The Crimean War also left a lasting impact on the public consciousness. The extensive media coverage brought the realities of war into people's homes, fostering a greater awareness and scrutiny of military actions among the general populace. In essence, the Crimean War was a catalyst for change, prompting nations to rethink their military strategies, technological capabilities, and the care of their soldiers. It was a conflict that not only altered the course of history but also left an indelible mark on the future of warfare. If you found this exploration of the Crimean War's legacy insightful, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more deep dives into pivotal historical events. And as always, I'd love to hear your thoughts. How do you think the lessons of the Crimean War have influenced modern military practices? Drop your comments below, and let's continue the conversation. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more historical revelations. Finally, let's reflect on the legacy of the Crimean War. This conflict not only reshaped the geopolitical landscape of Europe, but also had a lasting impact on the societies involved. The war brought about changes in public opinion, military reforms, and even inspired works of literature and art. Its legacy continues to be felt to this day. From the poignant writings of Leo Tolstoy, who served in the war and later penned Sevastopol sketches, to the evocative paintings of artists like Franz Roubaud, the Crimean War left an indelible mark on the cultural fabric of the 19th century. These creative expressions captured the human cost of the conflict and served as a somber reminder of the horrors of war. The war also spurred significant social and political changes. Public opinion shifted, leading to increased scrutiny of military leadership and government decisions. This newfound public consciousness played a crucial role in promoting democratic reforms and transparency in governance. Moreover, the Crimean War underscored the importance of international cooperation and diplomacy. The war's conclusion with the Treaty of Paris in 1856 highlighted the necessity of dialogue and negotiation in resolving conflicts, a lesson that remains relevant in today's global political climate. As we look back, the Crimean War serves as a powerful reminder of the complexities of human conflict and the enduring impact it can have across generations. Its legacy is a testament to the resilience of societies and the continuous evolution of military, political, and cultural landscapes. Thank you for joining us on this journey through history. If you found this exploration of the Crimean War's impact insightful, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more deep dives into pivotal historical events. And as always, I'd love to hear your thoughts. How do you think the lessons of the Crimean War have influenced modern society? Drop your comments below, and let's continue the conversation. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more historical revelations.